This is North America. The year is 1899. Civilization here is on a much different scale than it is today. It's been estimated that during this century over 70 million people lived in the North American continent. But remarkably, with such a high population of human beings inhabiting the land, there are still vast quantities of the natural environment that have barely been touched by humanity. In this series, we shall be exploring the landscapes and wildernesses in a way that has never been seen before. These are the natural wonders of the 5 states. Our journey begins in the northern state of Ambarino. You might think that in these woodlands is nothing more than grasslands and rocky terrains. But take a closer look and we discover something that is truly remarkable. These crystal clear waters are the Couture springs. These hot springs are produced by the emergence of geothermally heated groundwater that rises from the Earth's crust. While some of these springs, such as this one, contain water that is a safe temperature for bathing, others are so hot that immersion can result in injury or can even be fatal. Scientists believe that these hot springs are the leftovers of a highly active volcano that once stood here several million years ago. The evidence is clear. In volcanic zones, water may become heated by coming into contact with magma. The high temperatures that magma creates can cause the water to be heated enough that it boils, or it becomes superheated. If the water reaches such temperatures, it builds up steam pressure and erupts in a jet above the surface of the Earth. This is called a geyser. But what was to become of this volcano? The answer is still unknown. Travelling further north in the state of Ambarino, the environment is hostile and relentless. Here, in the mountain terrains of Grizzlies West, the temperature can plummet to 50 degrees below freezing. And the winds can gather up speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. Survival in such extreme conditions is fraught with danger. But these conditions are only temporary. For the majority of the time, the sun shines on these snowy peaks and produces a breathtaking landscape of remarkable beauty. Here at the very top of Spider Gorge, the most northern point in the entire continent, you will find a glacier. And with the continuous presence of the sun, this glacier is slowly starting to melt. In turn, this meltwater becomes a stream. And the stream becomes a river. Over many years, this river began to slowly carve its way down the mountain. As the water cuts its way through the rock, it has created valuable lifelines which are essential to the survival of the wildlife in the surrounding areas. These valuable lifelines consist of two bodies of water. Lake Isabel and Cattail Pond. Survival here would hang in the balance were it not for these waters. Our final destination in the journey across the Ambarino state takes us to the birthplace of one of the largest rivers in the North American continent. This is the Calumet ravine. The rock in this ravine is made of limestone. Over millions of years, rainwater from high altitudes has carved its way through the limestone and created a network of underwater caves beneath the surface. Underground, as the pressure builds, the water is forced upwards to the surface and creates a natural spring. The water gains momentum and slowly erodes the limestone bed that surrounds it. The water overflows and thus the Dakota River is born. As the water flows down the ravine, it has created the greatest spectacle in the North American continent. This is Donner Falls, the largest waterfall in North America. 13,000 litres of water flows over the edge every second. In fact, so much water has flown over the Donner Falls that over the millennia, the Dakota River has carved a canyon into the landscape that stretches unbroken for hundreds of miles. The state of Ambarino contains the most diverse landscapes and wildernesses in all of the North American continent. Join us next time as we venture south to the state of New Hanover, as we continue our journey to discover the natural wonders of the 5 states.